Want to know what some of the top recommendations from the experts in the field are for you right now to increase your end-of-year fundraising results? Of course you do. Okay, first things first, Claire Axelrad. You probably heard of Claire, Clarification. She is a great fundraising trainer. She really knows what she's talking about. Got a great blog, and you really need to know about Claire. But anyhow, here's what Claire's advice is. You're going to hear from a lot of different wonderful experts. She says, if it's been a while since you reported back to your donors on the impact of their giving, take some time right now at year end to do so, because this will put them in a grateful and giving mood, and it also reminds them that they've already made the decision to give to you, which she says really acts as a decision-making shortcut. Anyhow, next advice from Claire is, and this is so important, go over your lapsed donor list, especially those higher gift lapsed donors. Call them. Make sure that you reach out, because they want to hear from you. And I've said this before, and I think it's really true, is that a lot of people think that they've given and they really appreciate the reminder. They do. They're not going to be bugged with you. You're not going to bug them. You're going to remind them. Okay, and last but not least, and I so agree with this, I agree with everything she said so far, but this is so important. Make sure that your donation page and thank you page are in tip-top shape, and they're so mobile responsive. I tell you, that is so important. Make sure all those links work. I can't even tell you what a big deal that is. And make sure that it works on a PC and a laptop and an iPad and an Android and an iPhone. It's very important. And you know what? Check them every day, because little things, glitches go wrong. And check out, make a small donation. Check out PayPal. Check out whatever you're using and just make sure it works. Okay, next expert to weigh in, and her name is GAIL Perry. She's a major gift expert. She's got Fired Up Fundraising, and she is everywhere. If you're a fundraiser, you know who GAIL is. GAIL says she has 2 recommendations right now. She says, above all, focus on renewing last year's donors. Very good advice. That database, isn't it wonderful? Go over it. Who hasn't renewed yet? Why? Call them. Find out. Just make sure you don't lose anybody. And then she says, just consider those lovely people who've made generous gifts in 2016 but have not yet given. So run that report and just get in touch with them. Okay, and she's got another quick bit of advice here. Easiest of all donors to renew your current donors. They know you, they like you, and that is so worthwhile going through your donor base. Who hasn't given yet? Reach out to them. And secondly, she says, remind everyone about making gifts of appreciated stock. This is really important, especially this year, because, oh my gosh, just look at that, the stock market. It's just been absolutely incredible. So it really counts for your major donors, because they don't want to pay capital gains taxes, and so they can help you out. Okay. Here is another expert advice from John Taylor. He's in a company called Advancement Services. He says that if you're talking about this after mid-November, it's already too late. So I figure that we'll sort of rule John Taylor out, because after all, there's always time to do something. All right, well, in fairness to John Taylor, even though he says that we are too late, he does say, hey, wait a minute. You can send me an email, even during the last 2 weeks of December, with a compelling argument for why a contribution is needed now. And I may very well click on the Donate Now link. Okay? So, he said, too many of us rely on that tired old tax deduction message. But, he says, tell me why you need a donation now, and you really might have a new gift. Okay, great. All right, next bit of advice is from Executive Director of Annual Giving at Colorado State University, Meg Weber. She's been in the fundraising business for 18 years, and here are her top recommendations. She said you should use an opportunity like Giving Tuesday, National Philanthropy Day, and hopefully you did. But here, ask frequently. She says there's a lot of communication happening at this time of year, so don't be afraid to ask and use all your channels. She says this is really the ultimate in donor-centric solicitation. Donors have a lot of choices. Use all the channels, email, social media, etc. Lynn Wester. She also strongly believes that donor relations are the key to unlocking fundraising success. So she's at the Donor Relations Guru Group, and here's what they think that would really affect your fundraising bottom line. Their advice there is focus on making sure that your giving page is focused on the donor experience and is easy to operate. I so agree. Don't make it confusing. I hope you have landing pages that are just terrific with a great image and easy. Okay, they also say, number 2, make sure your thank yous are genuine, prompt, and tied to the way the donors give. Okay, and that image, the thank you, ties in with the ask image, so everybody feels good about where their donation went. Okay, Julia Campbell, I think she gives a lot of great advice. She's an author, coach, and a speaker. She trains nonprofits. She's an author, Storytelling in the Digital Age, a guide for nonprofits. Okay, so here's what she says. Number 1, thank your donors first before asking again. I think that's very good advice. 2, tell stories about the impact of your work, including various viewpoints. And 3, create content, Facebook posts, videos, blogs that address your work and your mission, and also your story. She also says, have a SMART goal for your year-end fundraising rather than just saying, we want to raise money for the annual fund. You want your goals to be specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-based. And 5th bit of advice from them is leverage Facebook's free fundraising tools. It's really important, and it's more important than ever, and hopefully that those don't go away, because Facebook it moves along really quickly. Okay, here's some more advice. Carol Pott. She is really a content strategist and branding, and so here is her advice. She's also a Senior Development Director at City of Hope. And she says from a content strategy perspective, the best way to increase year-end giving is to practice more of what you should be doing year-round, telling a good story with an authentic voice. This is so important, and you guys have time. You have time to tweak those email stories. Please tweak it. Just make it a little bit better every single day. Create connection by putting a human face on donor communication, especially at this time of the year. And if you don't, you're missing the point. If you are listing impact numbers without a compelling personal success story. Okay, remember, the stories, the images, that's what's important, not the numbers. All right, and she says that even better, make your ask for something tangible and make the impact clear. All right, people are far more likely to spend $200, she says, to purchase a goat if they can see who it benefits and know the impact of their gift. All right, so bundle it all together with tangibles and people will give. And during the holidays, everyone is so inundated with so many requests and demands for time and money, so tell your story quickly and make it simple for your supporters to donate and share your request with their networks. You want to make it shareable because if they like your story, they probably have friends that are real interested in a story like yours. And if it's good, they can say, oh, they love this. I'm going to share this with them. All right. Some advice from the assistant director of a college in Buffalo, New York. He has a big phone-a-thon that he oversees, and he says that for best year in fundraising results, that he finds that it boils down to the story that you tell and how you focus your efforts. First, the story surrounding the ask must be compelling and show impact. He says, I don't think fundraising stories can solely rely on the warm and fuzzies that nonprofits rely on around holiday season. The story must show impact of the donor's gift. Having them meet, quote, meet a person whose life has potentially changed because of their gift, that's great, but making the impact explicit is essential. Focus on the message, and the message needs to be concise and engaging. It's got to capture your donor's attention in the midst of everything that's going on this time of year. That's why I think images and compelling, heartfelt videos are so important right now, because you've got about 8 seconds to capture their attention. I don't think words are going to do it, but an image, yes, it will work. And his last tip is one that I think is really important, and include ask amounts. There's time to do this in your email. He says if there's ever a time to increase a donor's gift, end of year it is, including ask amounts, especially in connection with your great, focused, impactful story, will most likely lead to a donor bumping up their typical gift amount. So remember that. Get a ask amount in there. What are you going to do with that? This is why you need it, a certain amount. It's a subtle way of encouraging your donors to increase their giving, and it's going to help at year end. Okay, next bit of advice. I really like this gal. I read a lot of her stuff. She is, her name is Ann Green, and she's a consultant, a fundraising consultant, and she says one way to increase your revenue at year end or any time of the year is with monthly or recurring giving. Good. Monthly giving, that's important. That's so important. Not only can you raise more money, you get a constant stream of revenue throughout the year. So don't forget to go after monthly giving in those year-end emails. Simply monthly giving. Test it out. Go for it. And remember, and Ann Green points this out, retention rate for monthly donors is an impressive 90%. Hey, new donors, 29%. Retention rate for monthly donors, 90%. Work that monthly giving. Better do 2 of your emails on monthly giving. So look, on your monthly giving, like if you do devote one of your emails, make it a prominent option on your donation page. And if you can do a landing page just for that, for monthly giving, that would really be super. And encourage your current donors to switch to monthly giving. She says send targeted appeals to an email. Go through your database. Donors who have given at least twice during the year. Isn't that terrific? They've already shown their commitment. Get a monthly giving email out to them right now. Isn't this great? You've got time. So you can show them how their $50 or $100 gift is helping make a difference, and how they can help even more with just a gift of $5 or $10 a month. Monthly giving programs really are, they're just incredible avenues of investment for the nonprofits. Okay, Amy Eisenstein. She is really super. She's, I'm sure you've checked out her blog. and her video posts. I really like her, but she, and so do a lot of other people. But her advice is right now, focus on your top donors. Make sure your top 10% of the donors have made their major gifts. Pull out your database. And she says, for all those that have already made a column, say thank you. You are so important to us. And who knows? And I agree with this. And she says, you may inspire them to give more money. But nevertheless, even if they don't give more money, you are working on the relationship and retention and 2018. But let them know what a valuable donor they've been in the past. And remind them that you're hoping for their support again. And again, and again. No. She also says, express urgency, not desperation. And I think that reverts back to John's advice. Have a real purpose that you need the donation now. You know, have a purpose. Make it tangible. Oh, wow. Well, you're probably running out of time. But I want to give you one more. Lori Jacobowitz, she is Ignited Fundraising. Great. She's a master storyteller. She gives out wonderful advice. You should really check her out. And she's out there on social media a lot. But here are Lori's top tips. She says, first, share the specific dollar amount for what it takes to serve one child, one veteran, one person, one service dog. That's such an important tip. That's the first time we've heard that in this roundup. It's about one person, one dog. You can't save the whole world, but people can visualize, your donors can visualize saving one child, one pet. Secondly, she says, invite your supporters to choose how many they want to support. And this is really cool. I think that's really a good idea. You stick with the one purpose. Okay. She says, be specific here. And the example is, $1 equals 1 loaf of bread. 3 out of 10 children in Israel will go to bed hungry. Your gift helps provide food to 8,000 children in Israel. How many children will you help feed? Isn't that good? So I think that you've got some really great advice there. And I'm sure you've got to go. You've got so many things to do. Joy Olson here, Blockbuster Fundraising, Joy Olson Group. We're just rooting and cheering you on, and I know that you're going to get Blockbuster year-end fundraising results. Check out our YouTube channel. We've got hundreds of free fundraising videos, and we'll be here right through December 31st with tips that we feel may inspire you or be an aha moment and you think, oh, goody, I can add that. I can add that to my year-end email. All right. Thanks for having been here. Bye-bye.